know you are that girl. I know you see me. Can you see me? KP, I know you see me calling you, girl. Ooh, KG, that was cute. Yes, ma'am, KG. I know this service is working. I have Verizon Wireless. Our service don't break down. No. Yes, Janae. Work me, Janae. You have an incoming call, girl. Answer the phone. Now. Hey, Marcy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am good. I had to go back out of the swag. I needed to get out of the swag because, baby, we got too much stuff going on over there.
I'm like, it's time for him to come to me. Like, I was waiting.
So, do me a favor, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Marcianna Lawson. I'm 21 years old from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm the current head captain for the second year of Golden Delight at North Carolina A&T, where I study sports science with a concentration in pre-physical therapy.
Okay.
Thanks for having me today.
So before you became a Golden Delight, what other extracurricular activities did you do?
So for all my life, I was a competitive cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
I leader from the time I was 4 until the time I was 18. And the all-star cheerleading world is like a whole nother world. Like, we have what we call cheerlebrities. We switched to go to other states. So I would say from the time I was 14 to time I was 18, I gained like thousands of followers on my Instagram just from being in the industry. So for me to have switched to dance, like at that time, why are you switching? You know, Marcy, come back, cheer. Right. So I had like a huge fan base in cheerleading, but it's have a child.
But what made you want to get out of cheer?
So when I was 15, like I said, it was very serious. So when I was 15, I'm from North Carolina, but I moved to California and I stayed with a teammate because I wanted to switch cheerleading gyms. And from there, you know, I was on this like YouTube reality TV show. We just had a lot going on and I gained a lot of followers and that came with more pressure. So at a young age, it was just like, I loved cheerleading, but at the same time, it was like appearances, meet and greets, signing autographs.
Overwhelming.
It was very overwhelming. And when I turned 18 and I switched to HBCU, I kind of was like, you know, I just want to do something else. Like, I ended my cheer career on a high and I just wanted to take what I learned from that and apply it somewhere else rather than just keep hanging on to the same thing. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. But how was it like going from cheer to dance as far as the style goes?
Oh my gosh. It was so hard because when people think of cheerleading, they think of school cheer, but like what I did, you could say Bring It On, like the movie, but not really. It's way different. So I really wasn't even a dancer at all. Right. So I'm at auditions and Golden Delight's very technical when it comes to all the auditions. Like they care more about that rather than the stands itself. Mm-hmm. So at auditions, I'm like, I don't know the terminology. I literally don't even know what a turn is. I'm having to make it till I made it. Like, I got there, I'm not going to make it. Like, I just kept telling my mom, like, it's just not going to happen. Like, it's cool, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe but it was a hard transition. I was very stiff. I had to use, like, parts of my body that I had never used before. Yeah. It was very hard on my body, but with, like, the help of my vets and stuff, I really was eager to learn it. So it got easy, but I would say the technique was definitely the hardest part of it. Like, so different.
Wow. So, you know, being that you were a cheerleader, like, did you ever feel like most of those places are like white spaces? So did you ever feel like out of place culturally? Like, did you feel like you didn't belong?
So I think a lot of the reason why I stuck with cheerleading is because of that reason. You know, it is a predominantly white sport, and growing up as a cheerleader, I never saw people that looked like me doing what we were doing. Even the people that we looked up to, you know, they're the all-American cheerleader, blonde hair, blue eyes, which is no problem, but I made it a point to create a space for people coming after me to see themselves in the sport. So I think that's what really drove me to keep cheerleading. So when after I moved to California, still in a predominantly white sport, when I came back home, my mom was like, we're going to move to Greensboro, which is where A&T is. Right. And I went to an all-black high school. So I'm like, I'm like the only black person. And I'm like, yo, this is I don't know. I was like, this is so different. But I needed it. Like, I started wearing my hair natural. I, like, found it to be okay to be black.
Right.
And that's when I was motivated. I'm going to A&T. Like, I don't even have to apply. I didn't apply anywhere else.
Wow.
But once I made Golden Delight, I was like, that's it.
Because I was going to ask you, like, did you ever think of any other schools that you wanted to go to?
So the thing about it is like, Golden Delight has 2 auditions.
Right.
So their audition is super early. So by the time I had applied from school, right when I got accepted to A&T, instead of me applying other places, I had made Golden Delight. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm good here. But when it came to dancing, I didn't know anything about it. Like, even with Golden Delight, I didn't know really much about. I didn't even know it was like a whole HBCU world of like dancers. I had no idea. Yeah, like coming to be on the dance team.
So now that you're in it, well, I don't know if this is a good question. So now that you're in it, like, how do you feel?
It has taught me so much. Like, cheerleading tested me in many different ways, but like being in a band and being a part of like an organization that has been here long before you and has created tradition, like, it has taught me patience. I'm so much more disciplined, but I would never expect it to be what it is. Like, I couldn't have told you 4 years ago, like, this is what it's going to be. No.
Wow.
It's ever done, ever.
So what is your definition of a Golden Delight dancer?
Golden Delight. So we have integrity, we are versatile, we are humble, but we are humble beasts, and I think we take a lot of pride in our versatility. Like, that's our stand, because, you know, a lot of dance teams, they do the stands and the field show, but we twirl.
Yes.
And we're in every part of the show, so we just bring it to you, like, whatever y'all want. We got tumblers, we got people that came from a studio, people who were cheerleaders. We just bring the full package into one. So I think we're just versatile.
Yeah, y'all are very versatile. Oh my God. Y'all got so many, like, different aspects.
It's always doing the most.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to talk about that too, because baby. Yeah. So how would you describe the Golden Delight style?
The Golden Delight style. Okay, I will say this. So we make up everything. Like, we don't have a choreographer. We make up our twirls, we make up our stands, we make up our field shows. So the style is so, I don't want to say versatile, but versatile because it's coming from 20 individuals who have completely different backgrounds. I think our style is like funky. I would say funk, hardcore. It's not really milky. Like, we have milky, but it's just like energetic. Yeah. That's the best.
Definitely, I can definitely see energetic. Yeah.
Yes, it's just energetic. People might say we're bouncy, you know, like, I don't know. I think power.
Definitely. For the people that aren't aware of Golden Delight, can you, like, elaborate on some facts or some history, if possible?
Yes. So Golden Delight was founded itself in 1992. We had our 25th anniversary my first year on the team. So that was crazy to see, like, oh my God, there's people that's like, because we rich in band culture, but like compared to a place like Louisiana, Alabama, like, I feel like people even here don't necessarily appreciate our craft as much. So like, even when we do something on campus, it would be different from a school. Like, when I see videos of like Alabama State or Southern, people are out around. It's just like, it's not that same yet. It will get there.
It'll get there.
Yes. The way we work is we are a part of the band fully. So like, we have our band camp, we do everything with the band. Our way of leadership is very different, which I'm pretty sure probably people always be like, why is everybody calling stuff in the state? So it's just, we run like a machine. We're called the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. We just run like a machine, but I really feel like we run very differently. Like, even when I watch other interviews, I'm like, wow, things are so different at other places.
Very different, yes.
Yes.
Because y'all do so much. Y'all do a lot of stuff. So I understand 100% where you're coming from. So as far as like your first tryout, like, how were you nervous? Like, how was that?
I don't know if I was nervous because, like I said, I didn't understand the capacity of what it really meant to be on the team because I'm coming from cheerleading. So for me, it was just like, I just want to do something different, and this is the closest thing I feel like I can pick up. I would say I was more like anxious because I literally did not know what to expect. But I would say after that first audition, when I made it, that's when I started getting like, okay, I'm starting to peep stuff. people, I don't know what's going on around here. You know, like, so I think that's but I would say I doubted myself my first audition. Like, I just felt like I did not belong there. I felt like the person in the room that everybody's just looking at, like, why is she here? That's how I felt personally. But no, it was definitely very different, because the thing with cheer is the way competitive cheerleading works is you make a team no matter what. It's just what level. There's a team for everybody. So auditioning, you're not really trying out like, it's not gonna make it or not. It's like you're gonna make something. It's just what team. Versus going it was like you either here or not.
So but what made you not want to do the cheerleading in college instead of dance?
So one, like I said, competitive cheerleading is very different from, like, especially HBCU cheer, like Stomp and Shake. It was very different for me. But when I did school cheer my freshman year, it just was I don't know. I love it. It's very different. It's not the same adrenaline rush. Because the stunting, the tone, it's just a very different culture. So when I went to, let me say this. I danced in high school my senior year in the band. So my senior year of high school, I had been to 4 different high schools because I moved in California. My senior year, I decided when I'm at Delhi, I'm going to do something. Let me try doing the band. I mean, I was in the dance team, but then 2 Golden Lights came to a game and saw me and was like, you should come to a pre-audition clinic.
Wow. Yeah.
That's when I used to it. So even the whole time I'm on the dance team in high school, it's kind of like, I'm just here, but I'm still cheering at the same time. So that's really what opened the door for me with Golden Light, is because then I started to see, like, Asia Martin, like, wow, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I understand, you know. I still didn't think it was going to be to this capacity.
What did your captain teach you that really stuck with you throughout your years as a Golden Delight?
So I actually had 3 captains. So my first and second year, I had the same 3 captains, and they instilled in me strength, organization, because my head captain, Kiesia, she was very nitpicky on cleanings. Like, because so much of the stands, it's not lead, it's like routines. Cleanliness, organization, and humility is my biggest thing. Like, that's what I'm a stickler on, is like, you can be as good as you want, but if you have a nasty attitude, if you walk around like, then nobody, like, okay, you know, if you're that good, you don't have to say anything. Like, people will see that. So humility was like the biggest thing that I learned. And I also learned to make sure I create a relationship with the people on the team and don't just walk in like, hey, I'm the captain. Like, I know all 20 girls on the team, I know them, and I know how to handle each and every one of them. So
that's really important. That's very important.
I have to go there. It's not from a place of like, oh, she thinks she's this and that. No, it's like, I know Marcy, she's coming from a place, so we need to get this done. So what former Golden Delight inspired you the most? I would say Kiesia, who is, and I'll say this because, like I said, I didn't know a lot about them, so what I saw, like, those couple months before I got there, and even like her interactions with her poise, like, as you will literally never know how much stress it is. Even me being captain now, it's like a full-time job. So the way that she acted, now that I am in her position, I think Kiki was one of the most influential people, especially on how I lead as well. What was it like being a rookie? It was, like I said, it was so hard, especially not being with other people that also didn't know what was really going on. It was definitely like a true test, but it has made me, I would never take it back. Like, it was so hard, but it was so needed. And I feel like we have moms, so I know, like, other teams, if you're the captain, you're kind of over the crabs, but like, we have a mom or an aunt, so it's like a separate position of leadership that over like their process and journey. So my moms ended up being my captains. So from coming in and having to understand sisterhood and being able to go through things with my sisters, it really makes you appreciate, you know, legacy so much different than if you were just to walk in and it's like, okay, y'all on the team, let's go. Like, you know, you have a different passion and appreciation for it because you really worked hard for it. So it definitely taught me discipline, time management. it taught me how to work with people that I don't necessarily would talk to on a regular basis because everybody. So yeah,
I never thought about the mom. Well, we always think about the mom, but we never think about the auntie. Like I never heard of that. Yeah.
Right. So I have a mom and an aunt, and usually the aunt position is for our leadership is so interesting. So you come in freshman year, so like the way I became captain, it's not like this for everybody, but so I was a rookie my freshman year. My second year, I was leadership and training. So like my I was in the front row. The person, I don't want to say that, but I was in the front row calling some songs. I was leadership and training and the aunt. Right. So instead of me going from just not random, but like an old head to captain, I led a smaller group of people on the team.
Okay.
So that's like I'm like the captain of them.
Oh. Okay.
And then here is when I became captain. So it was like I was trained my whole time to become the position that I am in now.
Wow. I've never thought of that though. That's
so like when you calling stuff, like either they're leadership and training, they're a captain, they might be a mom, because it's like, or they might not be anything, they just might be a really good vet. So
Wow. What would you say was the hardest aspect to grasp your rookie year? Like, was it twirling?
Like, I want to say my rookie year, for me, I want to say stands, but what's weird is I felt like I looked horrible. Well, I did. I looked bad in stands. But I was like I was in the second row, like with the old heads. So it was kind of like, okay, maybe I don't look that bad, but I felt like I looked crazy. Yeah. So like, on my comfortability, I feel like twirls, I picked up on it because they like drill twirls. But stands, you have to find your own swag. And that's what I was. Is because in cheerleading, you're told exactly what to do. You're told to put your motion here and clean here and walk to the next spot. And dance is like, I'm giving you the move, but you need to find it in yourself to look good. Right. That's what was hard for me. So I think it was like the thing that I just felt so uncomfortable. Yeah. Like.
Okay. When you were announced captain, like, were you nervous? Like, how did you feel?
So because I was leadership and training, I expected to be in leadership because, I mean, I was trained, but just because you're leadership training, you're getting evaluated. That's not saying you're going to. And then I had 2 additional captains, and the co-captain was older than me. So she came in the year before me, so I was like, okay, she might get head captain. I really didn't know how it was going to be worked out because it's different. So when they told me I was head captain, I went through the leadership application process. I was like, oh, Lord. Like, I was a little cheerleading me is about to leave this team.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I expected it, but I'm the type of person that when I get myself into something, like, I want to be the best. Yeah. Like, not in a competition with other people, but just with myself. I want to feel content, like I left my mark. Yeah. So, I don't know. I had a lot of opinions, so I feel like,
Yeah, you're definitely going to have a lot of opinions. Yeah.
Yes. I was just like, I can do it. I wasn't expecting to do it my 3rd year because, I this is my 4th year and I'm captain again.
Right.
So a lot of people, they're not till their senior year are they captains, but that was a shocker for me. Like, okay,
a 2 year.
It's my
Well, yeah, 3rd year.
Yeah, wow. But it's fun. It's hard, but
so being that you have like 18 plus girls, like how hard is it like managing all of those girls?
Yeah, so this year we have 23. I think last year we had 22. Like I said, when the machine is ran well, like our foundation is so solid, like everybody knows the place. So honestly, the girls, it's not hard. It's like the rookies have their mom. The staffers is over me. So it's kind of like everybody knows their place. However, it's a lot of personalities, and it's hard to try to get 22 people on the same page when it comes to motivation-wise. You have people who have marched for 4 years, people who it's their first year, they're super happy and ready to work. Right. It's just like, you have to be that mediator all the time. You have to be calm, even when you want to react. Like, that's the thing for me that's hard, is like, if I'm not motivated, they're not going to do nothing. If I can plan it for the next 3 weeks, like, that's the hardest part, is like being a role model at all times.
Right. What did being captain teach yourself?
I think being captain taught me, like I said, patience. Yeah. I think it to trust myself because, you know, you already have this pressure on you, like, what are people going to think and do I deserve to be here? So I think it taught me to just trust myself and go for it. Like, take a goal, make a plan, implement the plan, figure it out. On to the next. With being captain, people think that what makes people great is these super big events or things that just make you known, but it's like the little things you do every day that make you a good captain. It's like how you look up when no one's looking, how you talk to your teammates when the staff are, you know, it's those things that make you a good and great leader.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
And I think for me, I was leading before I had the title, and I say that like the most humble way, but like, even with my sister's rookie year, I was kind of like one of the voices. Second year with leadership and training, even when the captains weren't there, I was the one stepping up, like, y'all know, get up, let's go. And I wasn't afraid to speak out over people older than me, younger than me.
That's good, though.
So I think as a captain, it's just genuine. Yeah. I'm not trying to, I've literally just been training to do this since freshman year. So.
Wow. How would you describe your leadership? Like, what do you do?
I think I would describe it as a tough cookie, but like it's like tough love because just as hard as I am on them, I'm also their friend. Like, I think that's one thing that separated me is I'm not like, don't get it twisted, I'm y'all's captain. Like, sometimes I feel like there's people on the team that do that better than me. Like, you better than me in that stadium. You come, like Michaela, like the girl with the natural hair, she loves cleaning. Like, even if you watch her dance, she's always at the right placements. So Michaela, you come clean. Like, I'm a delegator. I'm not the type that tries to take it all within myself and take the credit. No, like, it's a team process. So I'm more of like a guider. Like, this is what you're good at. You know, you in helping this, I'm not trying to take everything on my back and then it crumbles. Yeah, I like to create an agenda. So me and my co-captain Kyra, we create an agenda, and prior to practice, everyone knows this is the expectations. This is what we have to get done. If y'all want to be here all night, we will be. But I already told you. So it's like, we're gonna get these 4 things done, and then we will go. So
I mean, so how is like practice for you guys? Like, what do y'all do at practice? Because y'all got so much going on.
So, okay, like, we can go through it as if it was a new show. So if it's a show, we're given the songs, and they'll send us like the regular song and then the MIDI file of the band playing it. And so we'll start like with the feature, and we'll be like, okay guys, this is the song. And in past years we used to just be like brain dump, trying to make it like 4 counts of 8, but now we split it up to where it's like, y'all do minute mark 1 through 120. So now it's like we have 4 people up here working on the song. So then I'll look, or staff will look, and we piece it together. Learn it, clean, stage. So we learn it, we get it stage clean. Next, twirls, all right, and then we just do the same thing. Make up this, learn, clean, stage. So we just do that for the whole entire show. But practices for band camp, we were there from 5 a.m. to like 10 p.m. and we do that for 3 weeks straight, 2 to 3 weeks. And so we're like, I would say band camp was the most stressful time for me last year because it's so much. Like,
that's a lot of pressure on you as a captain too.
It's like, and then you only have like 2 or 3 weeks till the first game. So it's like, I got to teach all the stands, and we're trying to do the show and the twirls. They haven't even picked up a flag before. Then like me, I'm a majorette, so I twirl baton. But I learn flag. It's just like,
it's a lot.
There's never downtime. Ever downtime. But
So
we try to
go ahead.
I was saying we try to keep motivated so that we don't get like a lot, but it really is a lot.
So how do you guys come up with your stand routines? Because like for a lot of y'all songs, y'all have so many stand routines for a song. Like, how do y'all come up with that?
So the same way. It's how we're feeling. So for instance, like neck is a stand that they've been had and made up, but like last year we decided to change it and make a new stand routine. So whoever feels motivated, like, you got some hot stuff to that, let's see it. We just there and just change it until it's the point where like that is hot. Like, we just change it. But it is stressful because when they give us songs, we know like, oh, I can't just say I'm gonna call this, y'all come in. It's like, oh, we got a new song, we got to make up a whole like 16, 16 count. So, but we do the same way. We just all try to come up with a hot count, and then we like remix it to make it look like one continuous thing.
Right. When it comes to you guys like calling the counts, how is it like? Is it? How do they know the like? It's time for them to go. Oh, they know. Okay.
So, so even the counts that we call, it's routine. So it's like they know I'm gonna call that. It's not like I'm freestyling unless it was a situation where the band does like a loop or they do it differently at the game and I have to add an extra count. Then it's like y'all pick it up. But like for the songs that are led, it's like to call that 3 times. To wait 2 counts of 8. It's not spontaneous.
Right. Okay.
Rarely is it spontaneous.
Oh.
So like every time they play Big Drink, it's called that same way. Like every game.
I didn't even realize that. Wow.
I'm not gonna say it doesn't change up, but I don't want to say it's not spontaneous. I just want to say it's rehearsed. Right. So if something happened and the person calling it feels some type of way and wants to do something else, they will. But at the same time, we know what the skeleton is supposed to be like. These stands are probably going to get called. In what order, we don't know. Right. But for the most part, we're aware of what's going to be called.
So when it comes to, because for me, I'm gonna say it was me.
No, you can say it.
No, okay, so for me, it was the hair.
I said if you don't bring it up, I'm gonna bring it up. No, we saw your interview. Everybody was like, "Marcy, look at the interview. You didn't like your hair." I was like, "Let me see this."
No. It's not the fact that I didn't like the hair. It was more so of I'm so used to everybody being on one accord. You see what I'm saying? I'm not used to like different color hair, different color cut. I've never experienced that. So it was just kind of different for me. But my question is, have you guys ever thought about doing stuff like that? Like being on one accord and...
So we do that. So I will say this, last year was the first year where we didn't have like a uniform style. So
okay.
We'll change theirs up like per game, but ours is like seasonal. So for the season, it might be like we all have one hairstyle that's the same, and then we also have another unit or wig that is your own. Right. So it might be like we're wearing the uniform wig, everybody wear the same one, and then the next game it's like we're individual style. But last year was the first year that we only had individual styles. We didn't even have a wig that was all the same. Right. When it comes to like picking out the hair, if you're like an old head or a vet, you get the suggestion of what you feel like will look good on you. But at the end of the day, the coordinators and staff, it's up to them. So even with my red last year, oh my God, I did not want that red. What? I hate because in cheerleading I had red hair all the time. That was my thing. So I felt like I've let that go. I don't want red hair, and I just was like old. I just don't like it. We got my hair back. It was like red. Like
oh Lord, yeah.
If you saw what I had was red, it was like fire in the red, and I was so upset. The team was like, "No, we're listening." I'm like, "No, I'm not wearing this. I can't." So they toned it down a little bit, but still, like every game, I felt so not cute. I just like you. I feel you could tell even by the way I was dancing when I watched the videos, like the video, and I was very like, just I knew I looked bad to me.
No.
So that's why when I saw your interview, I was like, "Boy, I don't like it either." It's very different. And yeah, but we have uniform and an individual depending on the season and the cap.
Let me tell you something. I love the fact that Golden Delight, they always go out of the way when it comes to uniforms. Like, when it comes to colors, anything. Like, I love it. Right. I just love it because you don't have to...
There's no rules.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, always use the school colors all the time.
Exactly.
You can give us purple, pink. Like, I love stuff like that.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's so like, where do y'all get the inspiration for your uniforms?
So a lot of our uniform ideas come from our staff. It might depend on the theme of the show. Majority of the time, it's the theme of the show. But a lot of times, the captains, we do have input. Like at the beginning of the season, we might say like we have an idea of this or that. Whether or not it gets used is up to them. But our staff really does take full responsibility when it comes to like our creativity. Yeah. We kind of just hear their vision. It's like, okay, this is what you want. I'm gonna give it to. But when it comes to stands, they kind of give us free range to like do what we want. Yeah. They approve it, but I still need to like. They give us, the chance to do what we feel. But with those uniforms, they'll have an idea and it'll just start getting built upon, and staff might say, well, let's add that, and then by the time we see it, it's already made. Like, we're trying, so we'd be like, that's cute. I didn't know we was gonna. But we have so many uniforms. If you would go in our uniform closet, oh my gosh.
Do y'all name them?
So yeah, we do have names, but it'll just be like what it looks like Reese's, or like it's just random. But yeah, we name them because that's the one way you can really keep up.
Right.
We have so many uniforms and having to turn them in all the time, and we change like 3 to 4 times during the game. Yes. So it's like a lot to keep up with, but it's when we don't change, people like we only change it one time. Like they think we're so smart. We're like, we changing once? Like, no.
You gotta change, baby. I love the fact that y'all changed on the field and everything. Y'all just be changing. I love it. I love it. When it comes to like the trampoline, what made you guys want to add the trampoline?
That was so sorry.
First of all, it was different. It was so different. Never seen nothing like it.
Ever. But no, our staff came up with that. She told me, she was like, I'm gonna get this trampoline. We're gonna do this little effect around it. But we thought it was gonna be like a smaller scale trampoline. Right. So when it came, I was so scared because I was actually hurt. Like, I think I had sprained my ankle, so I hadn't even practiced it. So I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get this trampoline. I'm about to hurt myself even more. I was so petrified. But it was her idea. I was just like, what am I going to do up here in the air? I'm just going to wave. But no, it was really their idea. They have like a show planning committee, so our staff knows like way ahead like what the shows are probably going to be, and then from there they take the idea for our feature and give it to us. Like, we're doing burlesque, we're doing this, we're doing that. So
I love the fact that y'all have themes too. I love that.
Because it makes it the choreograph too, because it's like, this is the theme of the show, so we can kind of choreograph to match their vision.
Right.
But we always think they're crazy. Like, they'll tell us, we're like, y'all, this is doing the most, but it always ends up coming out like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it'd be so different.
Yeah, we literally, even when they tell us that, it's like, this is not possible. Or we'd be like, please, no. But it always comes out like, okay, now I see, but y'all know what y'all were doing.
Yeah. What was it like going into the stadium doing P-Funk for the first time?
So as a freshman?
Yeah.
Or, okay, I will say this. For me, P-Funk is like, oh my God, we finally get to do P-Funk. But at the same time, you know how tiring it is.
Yes.
So it's like you're trying to brace yourself, but it's like, I have to go off because this is P-Funk. I'm excited, but I'm about to be super tired after this. So that's what I was thinking about. Like, all right, hold your breath. Don't go off. Go off. Wait till you get closer because I'm tall. I'm in the back.
Yeah.
But no, it was like the most liberating feeling. It was like, we did P-Funk.
Yeah.
But we did it.
But what made you want to change it though?
So, backstory. P-Funk, the intro that you saw, I think you posted.
Yeah.
That part, the intro of P-Funk, we changed. But we changed the entire P-Funk. Like, we did the old one in that video. Yeah. But we changed, like, the P-Funk itself. So it was like an intro, the doom. Right. That's what we changed. But we really changed, like, the whole cadence. But then when we changed it, it was just so different. Where we weren't scared, but we were like, y'all, you got to get some tradition. Like, it was different. Like, if everybody was seeing it, it was like nothing remotely close to any of the other P-Funk. So we were kind of like, take a step back, just do the new intro. And people liked it, but I don't know. I'm kind of glad we didn't do it. I feel like maybe the next captain, it will be time. But
because, baby, if you change it, let me tell you, the alumni not going to like it.
No, we were like, it's like that thing you don't.
Yeah.
It's to be my first year as captain. So a lot of the times we're going to light is like, you have stand routines that continue to get passed down, like anybody else. But for me as captain, I was like, nope. Yeah. Throw that away. Not throw it away, but put it in the court. Put it in the back. Let's bring some more stuff that we make up. So, like, it was already a lot being added to the books and, like, things that people were like, that's not traditional, which is fine because we want it to be different this year. However, we felt like adding a new P-Funk was a little too, like, we have too much. Let's throw it in. So, because we gotta keep the tradition with HBCU dance. You gotta keep some tradition.
You definitely do, because baby, the alumni. That's all
right.
I'm gonna say.
They worked hard to make those things up. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially fans too.
Yeah.
What was your favorite field show? Your captain, as far as being captain.
I think my favorite field show was the one we just did in January at the Honda Battle of the Bands, where we like into the thing. Because I'll say that because it was extra without being extra. Like I think sometimes, I'm not saying sometimes we're extra, we love being extra. Yeah. But sometimes we're like blatantly like putting in your face, we're doing a theme, we're coming hard. Right. But this is like a subtle on the field. Nothing special. That's why I liked it. It was like strictly about the dance, but it was also still had like a go in the light factor in it. Right. And I love that show because it was thematic, but at the same time, it wasn't like so in your face to where it was like, okay, we get it. Right. So I think I love that feature.
And that one you guys changed as well.
It changed for the next part of the show. Yeah.
So how do y'all do that? Like, how did you just?
Tell you that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. So it depends, like how we said. So some years it might be one where you have like 6. Like I know the Honda before I was there, they changed like 6 times, 4 or 5 times, and they were just layering under, like ripping it. So you just rip it off. But like for the one we had on last year, we were able to step out of it and we had a whole uniform under it. Yeah. So it really it comes up with different ways. But we have like a secret uniform lady that she will not disclose, and I don't want to know because it's a lot of pressure. But no, when I tell you, our staff, they're so creative. Like it gets to the point where we're literally like, how did y'all think of that? Like
exactly.
But I'm sure there'll be another way to shed. She might have us spin in a circle and we have a whole uniform on. I don't know.
Wow.
They're so creative though. Gotta give that.
Who was your favorite team to go up against?
I really don't know because in the most humble way possible. Okay, I will probably say Bethune. Bethune is cool. It's really cool to go against because they just have energy. Right. But I will say we do not prepare for people. Yeah. Like, and that's like the most humble way possible. We really just, it does not matter who's there. It's half the time, we may not even know if the dancers are going to be there because of the MEAC. Some people don't always bring their band. It's not like, the band got to come. Like, you really don't know. And then also, a lot of the schools in the MEAC are smaller. Right. So we don't always hear bands that, I don't want to say are up to our level because I'm not trying to sound like that, but we don't always hear bands that it's like, oh, it's going to be a great 5th quarter. Like, that's different about the MEAC is you don't really know. It's hit or miss. Yeah. So, but I will say Bethune is a good team to go against. The past few years that we've seen Bethune, I haven't got to see the dancers because of other things. We haven't been able to actually like dance live with them. Right. But probably Bethune.
This is a good question. If you were to, say for instance, NCAT was able to go to the SWAC and dance, who would you want to go up against?
Oh, you know. I would want to go against, of course, J-Sets, of course, Alabama State, of course, Dolls. I just feel like because the conference that we're in and we're not able to see teams with like a huge fan base, I don't think we're overlooked, but at the same time, people don't like the MEAC bands. The culture isn't the same because people don't appreciate the band as much here versus like at a SWAC school. So a lot of people don't appreciate like our craft. And I think even if it's not just to see the dancers and I want to go off, it's not even for that. It's just so that we can showcase like might be different, but like we are up. Right. Going on
I really feel like y'all could really go up against some SWAC teams
because it's just different. I think it's terrible. Like everybody has their own style. J-Sets, Alabama State Southern, Golden Girls. Everybody has their own style, and it's like everybody's good. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all black girls just trying to dance, and it's like because they went somewhere, it's no beef, whatever. But like a great thing for MEAC to be able to go against. So when we do Celebration Bowl, we do get to go up against SWAC teams because we went against Grambling and the Alcorn. So that was like cool for us because it's like this is another big band that we never see.
And you got a lot of exposure because you had Trend. Yeah,
that was cool. So I think that was and they had like the videographers like Trend was there and like head production stuff like that. Yeah. That's different for us. That's not normal for us. So
yeah, I could see you guys battling up against Black Foxes. That'll be hot, baby. That'll be hot.
And we saw them at Honda Battle of the Bands, but of course it's a field show. It's not the same as like a stage battle. Right. But they're like a big squad too.
Yeah.
So
that'll be hot.
Yeah, I can see that.
What advice would you give someone that's going from cheer to dance?
Cheer to dance. I would say do your research and do not completely deprive yourself of what you learned because you feel like it's different. Like use what you did learn in cheer to help you excel. Right. Because even though like technique was different when it comes to leaps, I just applied what I learned to like the jumps to the leaps. Right. Instead of being like, I'm going to start from scratch. It's like take pride in the training that you do have and just build upon it. But I would definitely say do your research. Like, what does the team look like? What do they look for? How do they wear their hair at auditions? Right. What do they build? What's the style? Because if you do your research, that already gets your foot in the door. The people that be unprepared, they came unprepared. Like, they know what they're auditioning for. And I think that's what my problem was. I should have came and have done my research a little more. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: for tryouts, do you guys do interview processes as well?
Yes. Yeah. So we do interviews, but it's not super formal. Yeah. So like for my year, we did have to come in like business casual and then sit in the panel. Sometimes it's one-on-one. Sometimes it's a group of 5 or 6 girls at the same time. But they do take the time to talk to everyone because I think the difference between going to like in a lot of teams is we take potential. So I know a lot of teams you're supposed to come with, and that's why we have so many people on the team. You're supposed to come already expected to look that way, but with going to light, it's like if I feel like I can sew into you and you have the potential and the drive and you're humble and you have integrity and you're versatile, I can teach you whatever. Yeah. But I can be as good as you want to be, but if you don't have like the personality for it and the humbleness, it's like So the interview process is definitely important for our auditions.
Yeah. What can we expect from the I think it's like a mini film that you guys are doing?
It's hard, baby. It was a lot of work. This is probably the hardest season I've had. And we don't even have a football game. Any football. It has been so much work, but I think it's going to come out amazing. We have so much choreo we had to do. But you can just expect a lot of different emotions, a lot of different styles of dance, every style in the movie. So,
wow. Yeah. So is it more so of like, because I saw the preview, is it more so of like a documentary or is it like you guys just dancing?
I would say it's like a dancing film that has a storyline. Okay. So it's strictly dancing. It's not going to be like acting and stuff. It's strictly dancing, but each piece tells a story. One story, so that's why it's called a movie. But yeah, it's strictly dancing, no acting. It's strictly dancing, but it just covers a bunch of different styles. It should be probably like 40 minutes long. It's gonna be pretty. So
I'm ready to see.
It was hard. That was hard. It was very different because you're already adjusting to like what are we doing. And you're kind of expecting like, we don't really have a season. We're just practicing. It's gonna be chill. Then they throw that at you, and you're like, we're about to be here all night.
I mean, but with COVID being in the way, like, how is practice going?
So practice is going normal for us. Our band has gotten split up into like 3 or 4 bands. So each band practices like 20 to 40 people at a time. We have like, we're taking all the precautions in the band room. They have like glass platforms around each person. So really not even close, like literally it's like a cubicle of plastic. Wow. So the people playing, and we all get tested regularly and stuff. We haven't had any, but our school ANC has done really good. I think we only have like a 3% COVID rate right now. So practice is normal for us. We practice every day still. We have to wear our masks. We have like air purifiers, but yeah.
So are you guys still going to be able to do games in the spring, like swag?
So the football team, I think the football team dropped a schedule, but they haven't told us as far as like what the band can do or if we're doing anything. I wouldn't be surprised if we did, but at the same time, nothing has been solidified. So I don't know if like basketball games, I really don't know. But I do know that they have been talking or rumoring about there is a spring for football.
Okay.
So.
Because I'm waiting. I want y'all to be able to dance. Cause,
right.
Like, this is not fair. Okay? So, what is your plan after graduating?
So, after graduating, I graduate in May. I should be out of here in June. I'm going to Cali. I'm going to try to keep pursuing dance in the industry. So, I'm going to audition for, like, a talent agency and hopefully get on tour with somebody.
Okay.
Videos and stuff. But, yeah, I want to continue to dance. But I am pre-med, so I'll probably do that for a few years. I don't know, but my plan, I don't want to say my plan B, but I am going to go to medical school.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, doctor.
Yes,
so
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It goes so well, I don't have to worry about that.
Do you have any advice for someone that wants to become a Golden Delight dancer?
Yes, advice. I would say prepare. Trust your training, showmanship, look the part, and just be like a breath of fresh air. I think the people that come in and try to be like so Golden Delight, it's like, okay, but we've seen that. Like, we have people on the team that are like that, but it's the people that come in, it's like, oh, that's a different little flavor right there. That's the people that it's like, okay, I got my eye on them. So be yourself. Like, we want versatility. So that starts with you being unique. So trust your training, do your research, and just be a ball of energy.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
What'd you say?
I was like, he asked me, I get to represent. I was like, we need an Aggie up there.
Yes, ma'am. But you really, like, made me open my eyes, like, because, you know, I'm not too familiar with Golden Delight, but I want to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
All right. And that's all I have.
All right. I'll speak to you soon.
All right.